This bull of a man was met with a woman who was strong as an ox. What a signal. What a hope realized. What an example. But I'll come back to that day, September 11th, 2001. A day that did change me. A day that invited phenomenal leadership, and many of our leaders rose to the challenge. President Bush, Mayor Rudy Giuliani, right at the top of the list. Calls were made and they were answered. Tom Ridge got a phone call and he answered it, and he showed up to make a difference. You have had a day that will live in infamy. It was April 8th, 2011. A day that shouldn't have happened because you were in a safe place. You had been given assurances. You followed the rules. You laid down your arms. You accepted a community. You recognized a role. But you were abused. You were bullied. And an audience right next door was cheering the bully on, and no one challenged the bully. Because the war on terror is not over. I hope that the U.S. will stand up and say the MEK is the example that others can follow in the entire region of the Middle East. And finally, I will say my job as Chief of Staff, and it was a great privilege to be the Chief of Staff, but when I became the President's Chief of Staff, and I was just as surprised as everyone else, I had been blessed with experiences working for President Reagan and President George H.W. Bush, and I'd served under every Chief of Staff scenario that served them. So I kind of knew the job vicariously. But I decided my job as Chief of Staff was not to allow emotions to dictate my counsel. To try to be as objective as possible, to give the President the best possible advice without having it be emotionally charged. And you are emotionally charged, and that's a good thing. But your leaders must be objective and careful, and our leaders have to be objective and careful. They also have to have resolve. They have to stand for something.